Assalamu alaikum, bismillah. So this is part 4, and what I'm going to be discussing is the question, okay, where does the convert go to find Islam? Because what I've been talking about is the idea, which is, Islamically it's a fact, okay? Islam is not being done here. And it's not done in the masajid, and Muslims are not doing Islam, and Imams are not doing Islam. So let me first talk just a little bit about myself, okay? I became Muslim in 1987, all right? That's 33 years ago now. And so from the Caucasian Americans, okay, particularly the Caucasian American males, okay, at the time I became a Muslim, I don't think there were more than 20 of us in the entire country, okay? The only other Caucasian brother I used to know at that time was in Houston. So, I drove, 5 hours just to go meet another convert, Caucasian brother. Okay. Then in 1988, then I taught myself to read Arabic. And so I began reading the Quran in Arabic. So that's 32 years now. Learning the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have studied Hadith. I have studied Fiqh. I have studied Aqidah, Sirat, Tafsir. So when I talk to scholars and imams, they listen with respect after, I've let them know, look, I've actually studied the deen. And honestly, usually you have to do that because for some reason, because the Arabs and Daisies never paid any attention to converts. So their initial assumption is that we don't know the deen. And then I start reciting Quran in Arabic, and then okay, maybe this guy knows something about Islam, and then the more I talk, then, okay. So I've been working the last few years with a couple of imams here in DFW. And it's taken, 2 years talking to them and explaining to them the issue of converts, the issue of the mission of dawah, everything I've been talking about, okay, to convince them that there has been a massive crime here in Western Islam, okay, and I've explained to them in different ways that the community is not on Islam, okay? So imagine now, convert comes into the community, all right, and it really doesn't matter if it's a convert who just entered Islam yesterday or if it's me with 33 years of learning and experience. When I walk into the so-called masjid, there's not a single person there who has any intelligent understanding of the situation that converts are in and that converts have been in for decades. Okay? So when I'm coming in with any issue, I'm saying that in 1987, I moved away from my family. I moved away from my friends. I was losing my friends anyway. I moved away from all the girlfriends I'd had, the people that I would have been married to in my life, okay? And I had to, because I had to find a place where I could learn Islam. And that's when I came from Oklahoma down to DFW. So you've got a convert then who has no people. Well, that's a serious problem. Human beings cannot live without people. And I talked about in an earlier video that is the fundamental reason that the Sahaba were in a situation in Mecca that They really couldn't live, they could not establish their lives, okay? And that's not good for Islam. If they had not found Medina and built their solutions there, those converts, okay, Muhajirin and Ansar, Medina was the community of converts. If they had not built their solutions there, Islam would not exist on earth today. Okay? And yet you walk into the masjid and you will not find a single Muslim who has any intelligent understanding about the situation converts are in. The most important thing in the deen, and there's not one damn Muslim in the community who was ever paying attention. Not one Muslim who ever asked himself, I wonder how the mission of dawah is going. Let me go see how the converts are doing. The most important thing in the deen, and nobody did it. Nobody. And that's what I'm saying. Islam does not exist, okay? But then where is the convert supposed to go? Okay? When you can't even find someone in the so-called masjid who has enough Islam to even have an intelligent discussion with them. Whether it's you're talking about, marriage or loneliness, or why the community is worthless for converts, why the masjid is worthless for converts. Okay, I've spent 2 years talking to 2 imams to explain it to them. Okay, that's how far off base, how far off the rails the community is when you have converts coming to Islam looking for Allah's deen, and there is no Islam. And then you're in personal troubles because you've lost your people, and and then you find out, well, Muslim brother, he sucks. He doesn't make time to be a brother. And then you find, well, the Muslims also suck. They don't actually work for Islam. And so there's nothing ready. 35 years in Arlington, nothing for converts. 47 years in the Richardson Plano area. Nothing that really solves a problem, any problem for converts. Nothing. 58 years with ISNA, nothing there. So where does the convert go to find Islam? Because we need Islam to be able to live. We have to have a functioning community, and that's there's a huge difference between the needs of converts and then the needs of the so-called heritage Muslims, okay? If you have a Muslim family and you have a Muslim spouse, and if you're Palestinian and there's a community of Palestinians, or if you're from Pakistan and there's a community of people from Pakistan, you have a community. You can establish your life, okay? You have people to establish your life with. The convert doesn't have that. And so you don't have an actual need, not a critical need from the masjid. The masjid to you is a place to stop by and make your salah and maybe listen to the sheikh talk for 15 or 20 minutes, or maybe once a week or once a month have family dinner at the masjid and then come running for Taraweeh, once a year. And you don't have a critical need. You don't have a serious problem that you need the masjid to provide a solution for. The convert is not in your situation at all. We have needs that in fiqh are called daruriyat. Okay, it means indispensable. These are things that you cannot live without. You cannot establish your life without them. Your life will be broken and harmed and eventually destroyed. Okay, that's how serious the needs of converts are. And mashallah, the masjid has nothing. Nothing. Zero. Nothing. Okay? So then I think in the next part I'm gonna talk more about this, but I'm getting toward the solution. But to get to the right solution, you have to have the right understanding of the real problems. Okay, fiqh begins with gathering the facts, and that's why it's taken me 2 years talking to these imams, laying out the facts and explaining the facts and explaining the situation until, even though they still don't fully understand, but at least they agree that the community is not doing Islam, okay, and that the problem for converts is very serious, okay. So this is the end of part 4. I'll come back later, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.